was calling us like to come serve at Thanksgiving, and we were like, you know, given everything that's happening in the news with you and homelessness, you are probably not a great optical look. Great controversial interview, not a great optical look for like the mission. Advocacy does not live within a specific office of the LA mission, so that's kind of like there's informally things that because I tend to be an academic researcher, you know, there's things that I've done that with my role. You know, I think there's a lot of that Sophia has kind of naturally taken up in her role because she's doing strategic business development, so she's trying to get in with the business improvement district, and her vision, you know, and this is kind of where this podcast, right, as we're curating guests and we're trying to develop a voice, you know, part of it, what
This is good for you to notate too, just in terms of
what Sophia's vision is that the LA mission is becoming a convener and a thought leader. And a convener and a thought leader, not just moving from what we call a charity model to, you know, we want to move away from like, you know, just give us, you know, it's more than just taking meals, you know. Let's do life-changing movement. So now the other thing I've been trying to do is I'm a big believer in trying to do things like what other people are not doing. And especially if you sound like you have the right spin of, you know, a framework or something. So I've been looking into different like spiritual and like biblical frameworks, right? And I came across super interesting, it came to me when I went to church with my nephew upstairs, but High Desert Church does what's called this oikos model, and oikos is not a Greek yogurt, it actually stands for like household, and it's talking about how you create, you know, you're kind of like creating spheres of influence within the 8 and 15 people near you. And I feel like, you know, one, because it's already set within a faith-based framework, I'm not saying we're pushing and marketing
Right.
but taking the concept and transmuting it to what we can do with the Arts Council, right? So we're saying like we're movement building within your 8 to 15 people around you. That when you are joining our coalition, you're not just joining our coalition, that you're joining our household. What do? We take care of our house. How do we take care of our house? We lead in our house. We are, you know, we help those in our house, you know, and like kind of like trying to do it like grassroots house movement feel, because I feel like if you start going to once you start going celebrity action council, you know, you start throwing collaborative, you know, collaborative words, because like I took all of the
Here, Mitch, I got a cord, sorry.
Right. So I took all of the, so now, then I went and I looked at the strategic plan, right? So I'm trying to look at the strategic plan now, because I was like, you know, we really need to know the strategic plan to really get a better communication strategy. I mean, that's what I was telling Michelle, but, you know, advocacy is a big part of that. So, you know, we want to be curating, so when we're thinking about the podcast, right, we want to look at what are the spheres of influence that we can use in the podcast besides just telling stories, right? You know, we want to get a lived experience perspective, but like what are the spheres of what are our spheres of influence of where we are pushing the dial?
Oh, she's cute. That's cute, Penny.
Mitch got live stream.
Oh, that's a live. Oh, good. Okay.
That's a YouTube live streamer.
So
I'm gonna teach him how to use a gimbal.
Oh, good. Okay, sorry. I wanted to take a note on that. Oh, so for podcasts, guess how can we, besides storage, okay, how can we extend to other areas of leadership besides?
Maybe I should be recording this. So all the philosophical, you know, I just need like Aristotle and sit on a rock and just talk to me. I was like, hey, someone bring me some snacks. Yeah, so bring me some snacks and philosophize. So what I think of with the podcast is is kind of like, how can we rest it and then I think within some of the smaller events in terms of fundraising, is how do we create like a salon style feel? How do we as the Los Angeles Mission start to function like a think tank for homelessness and poverty? I think that's sort of mindset that we want to like go to. Like for instance, we weren't just inviting, rappers with like lived experience. We were like, okay, like Skid Row Fashion reached out to us.
When is that?
It's in a month or so, but they want to talk to. They reached out via social media because they want to talk to Troy about some printing work because they're the ones that did our. They're the ones who print. Skid Row Man Company is the one that printed it out. So you want to connect to the app and then use this. So so Skid Row Manufacturing are the ones who printed our shirts. They're kind of expensive as a printer though. That's like the only thing, which is why they were selling like so much. But I do think that we should collab with them again. Rich Prophet reached out. Do you know Richard Prophet? He works with David Sebastian. But like, or when we brought the guys from like Crate Manufacturing, so like thinking about like CEOs and leaders who are doing visionary things. So like that would be like who's like Crate Modular. They're creating modular housing. And trying to get exciting people that are not just bringing like the celebrity part, but like really kind of having a push together conversation. Now, what I would like to see is because I feel like I see a lot, like LA County's doing. There's a lot of people doing a podcast. Like Andy Bales does a URM podcast. So I think my strategic vision. My strategic vision is taking like the action items from like a podcast, right? And then filtering it down to an event if we could. So if we're doing like a monthly event, so let's say we had like a speaker, a really cool speaker. And this is just one idea of how we can maybe tie it together, right? So like we have the podcast and it's released like, let's say first Mondays of the month. Third Wednesdays of the month, we get together a small, we're working like, mission professionals group, whatever. And we're gonna take all the action ideas that were brought up in that podcast and like either turn it into a book club or some kind of thought sharing. Like I think that there's a way to monetize it in a way that, people with privilege are coming to like learn from, that lived experience perspective or learning at a center of that, like kind of like, so it's like, it's not just like, we're not like, then that way we can say like our podcast is not just something that like lives, like it's like a living manifesto of action making. We're not just trying to sit and like have ideas, we're gonna, as soon as we're done talking with like the director of mental health, as soon as we're done talking about street medicine with like the head of USC street medicine, we're gonna go and we're gonna have like a workshop on street medicine this month. And so
I think it's a good idea, like in essence, what I mean? Like, and I think it's a good, like, I feel like this is a good long-term thing, but I almost kind of feel like all the small things that we're trying to get in order, like those can't even happen. We have to like go step by step.
Yeah,
I think that with podcasts, like it's definitely imperative that we do have one because everybody does have one, and I think it could be all those things. I think it doesn't always have to like it doesn't always have to lead into action. It could be storytelling. It could be just a guest that wants to promote their thing too. It could be somebody that's like within the same sort of like coalition or collaborative or whatever, I think it's definitely, but if we commit to doing that immediately or right off the bat, I almost kind of feel like we would bite off more than we could chew.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I say it's like, I think it's an outward, like, I would like to see how we could like connect that, like that's a more mature concept.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think like definitely not right away.
Because
Don't you
all
gotta
of that
put it down
stuff, like I
flat
really
somewhere
do
first for it
believe,
to
like
start?
I really feel like it'll lead to that. You know, it's just
Not
like we
connected.
have to get into motion of doing it. And then once, you know, I almost kind of feel like things fall into place like that, like step by step.
To
So
start
I
it
think
off,
it's good to like
the
have in
gimbal that I
mind, like
had, you
long
used to have
term,
to
Yeah,
put it
you know?
on something
because I feel
flat,
like what I
so
noticed
it
was
like
happening,
balance
and
the
the reason why I
phone.
bring that up is that I noticed what was happening when we were doing podcasts is
Cause
that
that shit
like,
was
especially when we got like
Because
an
a
Lucy
lot of
guest, they
these
were
don't have,
really
like,
animated and excited to start to
bigger
do
gimbals,
something with the
so they
mission,
do
like
it on
almost
auto, but
immediately.
it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know,
You
we
gotta-
had like LA Civil
you have
Rights,
it
which is
set
like,
up
okay,
on-
let's try this like LA
Like
concept
on the
cable
app.
thing.
Where is that podcast now?
The LA
I'm
Civil,
watching both of
No,
them.
that you
She
guys
was
did
tough.
before
Yeah,
It's
one
on
was supposed to
YouTube?
lock
on
in.
YouTube.
Like,
But I didn't see anything on
it's not on
YouTube.
the official, so he created
cool.
a lot of
That is a good
separate
one.
things under his own account.
Oh,
So it's LA Mission Podcast.
oh, LA Mission Podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
My phone is frozen.
Yeah, so it's there's 6 up, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 6 episodes, 5 episodes up. LA Civil Rights, Crate Housing. Okay, there's 4. I mean, the highest
I don't
number.
know. Why can't I find it? LA Mission Podcast?
Yeah, look up the LA Mission.
Uh-huh. Oh, the LA Mission? Okay, and then under,
What up?
so the LA Mission thing
said
that I
what?
was looking at only had like 9 subscribers. Is that a different one?
Getting together this
No,
podcast
so
for the
there's
LA
like
Mission.
4 different
Look at this new
YouTube
facility my
channels
uncle just made in here
okay.
though.
that were created at times by different people. The official one is I Love LA Mission.
Yeah, so we can do
Nah,
like some
this shit is like in the middle of Skid Row.
Get this going. Can we stream this through your
Like
shirt?
literally, like this is in the LA Mission. Like the LA Mission.
What kind of facility is that?
This is the LA. This facility is just the auditorium
Looks like
for the like
I like yours.
different events and stuff like that. But
All time.
you know that's what my dad. I went to see my
It's
dad
like-
the other day. And he was like, you know you're gonna get robbed, right? And I was like,
I'm able to see you on live stream.
shit.
With all 31 of your subscribers.
I don't post on my YouTube at all. I'm an enigma.
Okay, so walk me through. Okay, so the LA Mission, that's the one that stuff is going to be posted on?
I heart LA Mission.
Oh, I heart. I like the word heart.
Yeah.
So this is what Jason is working on, kind of
That's
like the
what he should be-
rebranding of this.
That's the one that he should be cleaning.
I heart LA Mission.
Yeah. The one that you like.
oh yeah. Finally, well somebody actually they never returned the phone, so I had to cut that phone off.
So I can't pull up I heart LA Mission either. Like that.
Yeah, and this is a problem too because it's like, or I love LA Mission. I'm sorry.
So the LA Mission podcast, so he has all the stuff over there.
Everything. He
The
took all
lot.
the equipment. All
Oh,
the,
that's why some of this is
all the
missing.
account. Yeah. So he like we had a drone. We had he so he took pretty much all the service.
Considering my mic is on, so you might not want to. You could just tell me later.
Well, I mean, it yeah. So did not make a return, but I think that I mean that's sort of like you know like I said, you know, there's been a lot even so it's here. I'll subscribe.
Oh, can you guys follow me on the LA Mission Instagram?
Yeah. You want to follow you?
Wait, where is it?
Right there.
This?
I love LA Mission.
Okay. Oh, Isla, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I told him I wasn't sure exactly how it was set up. I said, whatever you got to do on YouTube, that's the job that Michelle assigned. Clean it up however it needs to be so it's video ready in a way that's aesthetically pleasing to what you guys do.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I was trying to do some research.
Yeah, and so I gave you access to my admin accounts for Hootsuite and for Meltwater.
Okay, yeah, I haven't been able to look through it
So-
yet.
So you can actually do like media reports and stuff too. We can't actually curate a list of press contacts ourselves, even though we're a press agency. I think the only limitation sometimes with Defiant is I think that their traditional experience is more in entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not like
That's Greg.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's not. I think they're really great in like they're learning what they don't know. That's sort of like the gap. Like it's like I hate being that person, and I'll say because like I'm like, but it's like there's a lot of people that don't know the ins and outs of like the issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're good for like the events and stuff like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
But you know, in terms of like where they're weak, where they're weaker is what Eli would do is like the organic pitches on like social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's like I've kind of said it's like you know I'm trying to like you know I might come back to it. You know what I mean? Because it's like I know I have to finish this other project, and that's what Michelle wants on my priority. But it's like you can't. It's like there's a lot of you know in this particular space, it's a lot different than just being like let's like brand it cute, make it soap. There's a lot of
Layers.
There's a lot of layers and movement building.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like why I was like trying to get everyone in the beginning. I was like, you have to think like an activist. Like you have to like know the ecosystem almost as like well as we do because if you start resharing a union, you know, if you start resharing, like you know, for example, if like Will started blindly sharing things only from Kevin De Leon, that would create a whole different optic and piss off a lot of people.
Right, yeah.
And so,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't mean that one is not good at that, but it's going to be the same issue if it's a homeless agency. It's you know, Eli. The reason why Eli's secret sauce to success was that he became he didn't know about homelessness. He got educated almost as much up as I was on the issue, and so that allowed him that when
You want that up basically?
Yes, please.
you know, for that edgy humor, you know, for that like edge, like, you know, he was able to harp, you know, he didn't just do things about the, you know.
I don't mean to pause the conversation, but are you guys having like a full conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, can we just mic you up and then like that?
Sure. Oh, well, what time do you have to leave?
In like 15 or so minutes.
Let's call Bruce real quick.
Cause that way we can just listen back and.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright.
I'm just gonna tell Sophia to meet me in Folsom Hills. So it's like, you know, I always say I'm like, I don't try to make it complicated. It's because it is complicated, and even the most. I put it like this: look at how much trouble the mayor's office, and they have every resource at their hand. We have something precious in that Troy's full voice isn't out there yet.
Yeah.
But the branding conversation happens as we are as an org, right? And like even like having like specific stances. And so it's so important to, if we're gonna, you know, to get to that like secret saucy level that Michelle wants to get to, you know, it's like, when I say like,
And you want to just send
living
them?
and breathing it.
Yeah, cool. Alright. I called, other guys can hang that up. And those need in general in here, or no?
I think we're gravy, bro. What's the, did you just make that new church, the chapel Wi-Fi?
Have Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
That one we didn't just make, it's been here for a minute. It's the same password as the rest of the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
the
is?
same password everywhere?
Not everywhere, but for the guest Wi-Fi and the chapel Wi-Fi, yeah.
Is what?
First,
It's
I was,
online to one.
right, I was writing down for you real quick.
Okay.
So you get all the capitalization, everything correct?
Can we go get this? Yeah, we can. Or you can put that down there, and then we put that, yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Give me
okay.
that too. Please.
This is for first
Guest
floor
Wi-Fi.
showers. Guest Wi-Fi.
And also shower Wi-Fi.
Other side, yeah, just so that this one's
Yeah.
Okay.
on the right side, so the mic's facing up.
Mr. Hill!
Yeah. And so, you know, that's also why it's so hard for Michelle to kind of get herself out of the weeds, because there are so many different polarities of the conversation that could be happening.
Before or after the broadcast? You guys want that up right now?
Which one? It already has holes for nails. They need like 6 nails.
Got it. Can me and him get ready?
Yes. So do we have like Windex? I think this needs to be cleaned before.
Yeah, I think it's probably clean it after they put it up, just because.
Oh, okay.
We got the cans on it, you know.
Okay.
There'll be fingerprints on it, right? To clean it.
Thank you. Where you
Higher up, I'm guessing.
Let's see the frame. Oh, sorry, we're in the way.
definitely center.
Yeah, that's it. For sure. Figure out how you want it though.
Got it.
What do you think?
Higher, lower.
Lower.
Low, well, this might not be the final angle if we angle it down.
Do you have a semi-permanent way of hanging it up? Meaning like maybe adhesives or?
This is kind of heavy for adhesive,
Okay.
so I really would like a one-shot earth skin.
Okay.
I mean, I would say go there, like that.
Right here.
Someone want to sit down and then you get your skin?
Yeah, actually.
Visual it?
Yeah, because I'll be sitting
Hey
here.
Mike, do you have a pen or pencil on you? Thank you. Real quick, so we mark where we're gonna put it.
How we looking?
What do you think?
That's cool.
Well, remember that we're also short, so maybe like.
I mean, is it bad that you're blocking some of it?
No, I don't think so, because it's not supposed to be the main attraction. It's just the
Thank you much for the
background.
Backdrop. Got
Yeah.
it.
So that's, yeah,
So right about here,
yeah,
that'll be fine?
yes.
Just give me a dot, right? One little dot, then I'll center it and all that. and it'll
Perfect.
come out.
A little bit.
Right. Yep.
Perfect. All right.
Having fun with the gimbal?
Thank you.
Yeah, trying to slowly figure it out.
I'll be back and around taking care of this stuff. If you need me, you have my number.
We could do this.
All right. Anything else needed here?
No, bro. Appreciate you.
And if you need to do anything on the screens in there,
So,
the most first way to come in the mail, but the TV is just middle of the screen on the bottom to turn it on, and that connects to the screens themselves.
Disconnect the screens themselves?
Yeah, that whole HDMI thing, just get the open HDMI cord at the end.
And what about this? Like
This
if,
one, just where's this one routed to? Probably on the side, like all the light trail over there, but this specifically is for the TVs out there. I can get stuff for you guys later if you want though.
no, I was just wondering like in the future or something.
Yeah,
Like if
that's
we
no
want to
problem.
have to put stuff
so
on there.
like,
We can probably do that.
it will track me wherever I go.
I'm gonna go.
So what?
What's up, okay?
Alright, so.
Hey, Will, check it out.
Hey, Sophia? Hey, I'm in Holsinger Chapel. Yeah. Well, the whole point was to introduce you. Oh, yeah, well, I'm in Holsinger, so, yeah. We don't need to stay 2 hours. I think it's more than enough. All right. Okay. Do you mind? Yeah. Do you mind if my students tag along? Okay. Cool.
Oh, reverb.
Hey, hey, woo,
It's kind of
woo, woo.
Yeah. Throw some rugs on the wall. Egg cartons, like,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't know. Stay away from my pencil.
Is your computer gonna die?
What's a?
Yeah, I got my charger.
Oh, okay.
How long are you guys gonna be on campus for?
Probably till like 2, maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
After we finish doing a little recording, and then we can see how we can upload it and all that. I mean, that's what I blocked my schedule off for, so.
Yeah, because I'd like to convene on some stuff.
Oh, the other thing too, Will, while you're here, so guys, listen to this. Friday, I am chaperone of chaperones at Universal Studios for my son's little trip. So I cannot make that 10 a.m. meeting. So if we wanted to do it Thursday or another day that works for you guys, or do you want to just take the lead, Monique, and then fill me in, or?
Sure. I mean, the only thing that was brought to my attention for this week was that on Saturday, Mary told me that there is a Mother's Day brunch that they want filming at.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it's Darlene Troy's wife is going to be speaking at it.
Okay.
So it's a priority for filming.
Word.
So whoever is available to take that. I mean, and then status on the PSA video
Yes,
and Miles.
Miles is all set.
It's ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
When?
Do you have it arced up to post?
Okay,
Yeah.
before
Oh,
Friday.
I put it in the Google
Yeah,
Drive.
and then also too, your deadline is Friday too. So everybody's deadline is Friday pretty much. Yeah, so.
Yeah. I mean, and then everyone knows where the partnership doc is to fill in contacts.
Yeah.
Everyone else has their marching orders.
Yeah. Okay, cool, yeah.
How long before you guys get started, or do we have enough time to do it right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's get it for one now.
Thank you.
I'll
sit right here?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but that's for.
Center?
They get a labeler.
Okay, and we're just going with 4, 1 on each corner?
No, we're going with.
6?
Where's that demonstration?
There's only one problem there, boss. If we go with those anchors, these holes are too small. Oh, this is really nice.
That's gonna be interesting. Cause I'm gonna just sit out there.
I should have told you to
We're
bring your tape.
we're already centered.
I should have told you to bring your tape measure. We're gonna center,
Okay.
and this is our height.
Oh, that's our height.
That's our height right there.
The Chapel Guest Wi-Fi, put in the thing, it says no internet
I'm
connection.
gonna use the little green anchors.
Correct.
Not
Because it's
not
gonna
the-
ask
the
you
big-
for, it's gonna be a
Correct,
gateway.
Correct. You
Yeah,
got
it's
the
gonna
right
ask
side
you.
screws,
Oh,
one shot,
Yeah.
and bam, bam.
Yeah, well, the center mark, the center one in, the level on it, mark the rest.
What
of
is
them.
some other stuff if you guys finish
got
earlier
it.
we could get accomplished while you're on site
Okay.
today?
I will, I will be back in about 5, 10 minutes.
Please come in,
Yeah.
please.
maybe,
5, 10 minutes. And then,
well, he said that he's gonna get the
it shouldn't
video,
take me more
the PSA.
than 10 minutes to set it up to do it.
And you got my changes, right, for the ADC video?
Yeah, you gotta send me that email, yeah.
Okay, I did,
Yeah.
right, yeah, okay.
Just check that.
And then, do you have any posts that you want me to look at? So I was thinking, well, actually, if you, oh, well, you know what, because I wanted to do like for Wednesday, like if we did like a Wellness Wednesday or a Woman Crush Wednesday to do like that ADC video or something. Yes, I get a.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, so I, because I got like hold of Dr. Clark across the street, and she is a doctor that does medicine here at LA Christian Health Center, so she's a doctor in Seattle, but she also openly lives with ADHD as a medical professional, so I thought she might make a good interview.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of Mother's Day too, do we have a post for that?
Not specifically,
Okay.
but we can create one.
Yeah, to salute all the mothers like living on Skid Row or just, you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, that's easy to make a graphic for. But I was thinking that if we get like because like Darlene is a really good public speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So my thought was that if we're gonna do a brunch,
Mhm.
you know, because I mean last year they did like a blessing thing too. But if we get an excerpt of whatever she says,
Mm-hmm.
that might serve as a good like message from like kind of
Okay.
like the first lady.
Where's their luncheon?
It's going to be here at the mission.
Mhm.
I'm assuming it's going to be on the rooftop. Mary Grant just brought it to the meeting today.
On Saturday?
It's going to be on Saturday, yes.
On Saturday. What am I doing Saturday? Just to make sure, I mean, whoever films it would just have to like make sure we get that sound bite. What staff person would be here, or does a member of the social media?
It's going to be it's going to be volunteer department. Will be staffing it because she knows about it. I'm guessing that they're doing it for the mothers here at the ADC.
Mhm.
So it's gonna, I don't think it's going to include staff as far as I know. Those are the only details I have so far, but naturally probably at least one or some of the chaplains, Dr. Jordan may be here if Darlene is gonna be here.
So maybe you can ask Mary if she's going to be there, or if she can assign someone on point to make sure that we can still use some of the snippets from her speech, depending upon what it has. But if we could just get like a sidebar, one-on-one kind of like blanket statement, or just to address like the mothers.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then I sent over that list of like, I mean, it was just like one list of like different people from Asian Pacific Islander backgrounds.
Oh, I started looking at that.
Yeah, so if you have like a couple of names you want to highlight, I mean, it's pretty. I tend to stick to a pretty predictable format with graphics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's usually going to be like, you know, if it's probably going to look something like that.
Mhm,
It's just
mhm,
going to be someone.
Yeah.
That's,
No,
like,
definitely. I like
impactful.
that. Continuity.
Yeah. Hi, Julie. Ready? All right. All right, Grant, you ready? Michael. Michael, you ready? It's up to you guys. It's either you guys want to come to Skid Row History Museum or play around.
Damn, 3:30 to 7.